seems that they're not going to stop with humans. They're going to definitely move on to the animals. And is it any surprise to find out that the chairman and the main man that is doing all the stuff for the rollout around the world is a trained vet? He's not a human doctor, he's a friggin' veterinarian. So does that surprise you? It doesn't. It's shocking, quite alarming, and I think if people realise that they are putting their future and their health and for safety and their effectiveness on a man that is trained on animals, not on humans, you might think twice. You might go, maybe this isn't the right thing for me. But anyway, take care, look after your animals. Have you ever thought why they're calling it the jab and not anything else? It's not the needle, because that sounds too scary. The jab, I thought it was all down to a military sort of term because it's a boxing term. You use a jab to protect yourself and to put your opponent off guard. But after watching all of these vaccinations of poor animals in the zoos, you can see why they don't use the word poke. Because when I was little, you were always taught not to poke somebody because you might poke their eye out. So you don't poke, but you watch these videos and these people, they're customizing all these animals how to accept getting jabbed. And it's quite alarming to see this happening. Is this how we're being treated, like lab rats, like lab animals? Well, it's not a surprise to find out that the CEO of FISA is a trained veterinarian. He's not a human doctor, he's a friggin' animal doctor, and he ain't Dr. Doodle, I can tell you that, I can tell you that.
Years, including flags to mark Juneteenth, LGBT Pride Month, and the area's immigrant communities. But Shirtlif's Christian flag was the first and only one they'd rejected.
It's kind of ludicrous to think flying a flag on a flagpole for maybe an hour or two will somehow get people to think, oh my goodness, look at the city of Boston is now endorsing the Protestant or the Christian faith.
Brother, it is time for the mortals to pay.
Oh, hi, I'm Jenna. I'm one of the meerkat trainers here at the Cincinnati Zoo, and I'm fortunate to work with these guys about 4 days a week, and I've been working with them for 4 years now. So we have a really good relationship. They're one of my favorite animals to work with because I can actually come in and sit with them and build really strong relationships. So we have 5 males and 1 female. This is Shakira. She's our only female. And she is 5 years old, as well as all of her brothers. This is her father, Santana. He will be 10 in November. This is Zevin. This is Mark, and Louie is our shy guy over there. And these guys all have different personalities. They love bugs. They're very food motivated. They're a lot of fun to work with because of that. We're actually able to do some really cool training with them. Something I'm really proud of is we recently trained them for voluntary vaccination. So rather than them having to be caught and held to get their shots each year, they will actually come into a smaller area with half of a tube next to some mesh, and they'll come in, they'll get rewarded for accepting their shots. These guys, it took them less than a month to be comfortable with that, so it was some pretty quick training. Really fun for me to see them, that they were willing to trust us. Like I mentioned before, these guys are fun to build a relationship with as long as we don't try and pick them up or do anything that stresses them out. You'll see they'll just sit here next to me and have a lot of fun. They actually will also allow me to trim their nails, get their monthly weight. So these guys actually help us take really good care of them by trusting us and allowing us to do things that keep them from having to go to the vet. Meerkats are definitely prey for a lot of animals, especially birds of prey. So you might notice them looking up all the time, checking out if there's a helicopter or an airplane flying over. These guys look up. They're nervous that it's a bird, like a hawk or an eagle that might be trying to eat them. In the wild, they're always on the lookout for birds of prey, as well as snakes, jackals, that sort of thing. And so, of course, being a prey animal, they will run away if they're nervous, and they'll get stressed out. So it's really great that we do have this relationship with them. The training is really important. They're not stressed when we come in, and rather than us having to grab them and catch them, something that would be stressful, it's really important for their mental health that they are involved in their own health care. It makes it a lot better than having to grab them and kind of deplete that trust that we've built up over the years.